Hyzant has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exham of the Saintly Seven wastes no time in mustering his army, which now marches on the Grand Norzelian mines.
That did not take long at all.
Elsewhere, Gustadolf amasses his own forces at Twins Gate in anticipation of the war to come.
And we are just vibing.
All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
Alright, so I do think it is indeed going to be decision time. No, I guess not yet. Okay, wow. We got to hear of the decision. Oh, well, I guess maybe Roland made a decision, and we might just, we might have to make a decision in reaction to that. Let's see what Roland has to say.
I appreciate you coming all this way, Roland.
I was the one who asked for your time, so it is only natural I make the journey. I wish to tell you that I finally made up my mind.
And I would hear your decision if you were willing to share it with me.
I've long pondered over the one thing that Norzelia needs most. I thought back on the Salt Iron War. 30 years have passed, yet the root of our conflict remains the same.
Yep.
Each nation still thinks only of itself, wishing to fill its coffers even at the expense of others. But who bears the brunt of such a war?
The people.
Yep.
Exactly so. The avarice of the ruler is an existential threat to their loyal subjects.
And yet without that wealth, the people suffer just as much. They languish in poverty.
Yeah, it kind of sucks to be a people, don't it?
This much is obvious. But there can be no winner without a loser. Remove one and you necessarily remove the other. If we achieve equality, we achieve peace.
And how do you propose we achieve? No. No, surely you don't mean...
I don't exactly know where this is going.
Yes. The goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess. An authority greater than any king.
Oh, no, I don't like where this is going.
The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa. The holy state of Hyzant.
We have so many examples of people who were not satisfied in there, and even though Hyzant would, like, publicly say that everybody is happy and no bad things happen, it's like people within tell a different story. So, no, I disagree with this.
I have decided that we must give the salt crystals in the Grand Norzelian mines to Hyzant.
Oh, I really hope we don't end up actually doing this.
And in so doing, you'll give them control of all Norzelia.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
There will be no more squabbling over salt. Norzelia will know eternal peace at last.
Okay, so you think Esfrost is cool with this, or Esfrost is going to try to attack, or Hyzant is just going to take them over anyway, and then all of the people of Esfrost suffer, so your entire thing about nobody having to suffer is not exactly correct, is it?
Unequal peace, surely. One built on the backs of a people like the Roselle, if not the Roselle themselves.
Yeah, also, like, Roland saw, like, what they were doing to the Roselle. That is clearly not equality for everybody.
I am not blind to that fact. But so few will suffer for the good of so many.
Oh, Roland, what happened to you?
Nothing in this world is perfect, Serenoa. The sacrifice of the few for the good of the many. It's the only clear answer, and one I would give every time I were asked.
I feel like you have not had enough time to think about this.
Of your kingship.
So be it.
Yeah, that's, like, less important, I think.
My pride. There are but small prices to pay for peace.
You are truly prepared to throw it all away.
Join me, Serenoa. Let us unite Norzelia under the Holy State.
Oh, gosh. This is not exactly what I was expecting. I was like, there's no way they can pit Roland and Serenoa against each other so easily, but oh my gosh, this makes so much sense to pit them against each other. I just hope we don't actually have to, like fight him, you know? Like, that would just be, I think, a bit too far. But, I mean, I don't agree with this at all.
This is quite sudden.
I understand. Pray, take all the time you need. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan, seeing as it forsakes her people.
Yeah. Alright, so you know that it forsakes all of Esfrost. Oh, well, no. You know that it forsakes the Roselle. Which is still bad. But also, I feel like you're just not factoring Esfrost into this equation, because they're not going to take this quietly. And that's a lot of people that you are also forsaking.
I am already mourning the rift this may cause between you. But I shall not be swayed. This will be my final act as Glenbrook's king.
And then we become the king? Yeah, I feel like this game, the storyline is definitely transitioning into Serenoa being the king at some point. Which didn't make sense, but now it's starting to make sense how that could happen.
Roland's anguish plays plainly across his face. It pains me to see him so tortured.
I'm not surprised. The future of our kingdom, to say nothing of the entire continent, rests upon his shoulders.
Pray tell, what do you intend to do about the salt crystals?
In truth, I cannot decide. Salt is too precious to be hoarded. We've a duty to share it with the people, which is...
Where the difficulty lies, yes. The source makes that all too clear. Salt lies at the heart of every war in Norzelia.
What if we just destroy all the salt? Salt doesn't exist anymore.
The salted sea of Rosellan legend still existed. We'd have no need of conflict if there were a source of salt for all.
That could be the answer to our problems.
My love, if I may, the discovery of the salt crystals has made two things plain to me. The first is that my mother spoke true in the legend she passed on to me.
And the other is that the goddess's teachings are nothing more than a lie built to constrain your people.
Just so, we are guilty of nothing. Yet the Roselle languish in the source, where they are looked down upon and forced to work until they die. Entire generations lost, countless lives given to Hyzant's cruelty. Cruelty created to justify Hyzant's own avarice and lust for power.
Such is the ugly lie at the heart of their teachings.
One revealed by a crystal of the mineral they hold so dear. The time has come, Serenoa. The Roselle must be freed. The salt crystals have brought us to the brink of war. We can harness this unrest, incite the Roselle to rise up and rebel against their captors.
I am with you. Believe me, I am. But you make it sound so...
Yeah.
Simple. Yes, I know. But the suffering of my people is so distant for everyone else. We can no longer wait for someone to do the right thing. Help isn't coming. Why else would my own mother incite rebellion? We are alone.
Yeah, she makes a good point.
I swear
Literally, Roland, the king, is planning on just like turning his back on her people.
I am betrothed to you, my dear. It couldn't feel any closer.
And I thank the stars that I have you by my side. I do. In truth, that's why I think this time will be different. Why I'll be able to accomplish what my mother could not.
I agree. But the risk is immense. Suppose we succeed, what then? Hyzant will not let us go quietly.
They're already not letting us go quietly, so it's too late for that.
Of course not.
And when that time comes, you can lead the Roselle to Centralia, just as your mother wrote about in the book she left behind. Beyond the Great Falls and the Folk's Domain, at the end of the Norzelia River, the ancestral home of the Roselle.
But that's just a legend.
We've already found one legend to be rooted in truth. Perhaps this one is as well. And if not, at least you'll be safe from harm.
Yep, that's a good point.
I doubt Benedict will share our feelings, though.
Who cares about Benedict?
Abandoning all we've built to embark on a journey fraught with danger in search of a legend. Yet no matter how perilous the path ahead, I would happily walk it at your side.
All right, I'm ready to see what sort of decision we are faced with, because I am expecting one to happen very soon.
I trust you understand what a monumental effect the discovery of these salt crystals will have on Norzelia's history. Whatever course of action we choose will determine whether House Wolfort leaves a legacy in that history, or is expunged from it.
How would you proceed, Benedict?
I would do all I could to keep it from falling into Hyzant's hands. They already control the source. With the crystals in hand, they will solidify their grip on the realm and in time dominate it.
Yeah.
The siren song of a false equality under their goddess shall blanket the land, claiming every domain and its people.
Even though they count me among the Saintly Seven.
Even then, for that matters little when the equality they espouse is dictated by the goddess, or should I say, the Hierophants.
Yeah.
In the end, they will have the same life and death control over all Norzelia that they now hold over the Roselle.
And our wounds from the battle with Esfrost have only begun to heal. Hyzant will destroy us if we wage war against them in our current state.
What do?
They stand little chance against us if we ally with Esfrost.
Ooh, will Esfrost accept us as allies?
Ally with Esfrost? Are you of sound mind, Benedict?
Quite. Think about it for a moment. Esfrost wants nothing more than to loosen Hyzant's grip. They will go to war if it means control of the salt crystals.
I mean, that's literally what they're already planning to do. It is so interesting how we have become the sort of middleman where we are literally jumping between nation and, like, other nation and this specific ally and that specific ally. We are literally just jumping between all of them. It's almost like we have no loyalties, which is interesting, but it seems to work out for others' benefits.
Esfrost has been building toward precisely that purpose for some time now.
It is a very interesting balancing act that we are pulling off.
You speak of the Death Knell, the weapon that Cordelia mentioned.
I don't know that Roland would be okay with us aligning with Esfrost, but I kind of feel like we might not care about what he has to say anymore, which is crazy to think.
Precisely. A weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield to rubble, leaving Hyzant's capital ripe for the taking. Without that weapon, we cannot win. You need only say the word, and I shall convince Esfrost to join our side.
Oh, but now I'm worried that that weapon is not actually going to work as intended. Because what Svarog said.
And I do not doubt you could secure Esfrost's cooperation. But I fear the harder fight is within our own domain. King Roland's heart will not be easily won.
Yeah.
I bid you listen closely and calmly to what I'm about to ask.
Is it that I become king? Are we progressing that fast already?
Whence this somber tone?
Do you believe King Roland is fit to rule?
What are you implying?
Decorum is of little use when the fate of our realm is at stake, Lord Serenoa. Are you content to spend the rest of your life in servitude to another?
Not another word, Benedict. Roland is more than my king. He is my friend.
And you are Lord of House Wolfort, whose military prowess is known to all Norzelia. Not the guard dog of Glenbrook and Hyzant. What else are you here to do, if not to protect your house and keep its banner aloft? But you have the potential for so much more. All Norzelia could be yours if you but desired it.
Well, that's a little crazy. I don't know that we want that or need that. That's kind of what we're trying to help prevent from other people happening.
Outright regicide. These are your suggestions.
Like, Hyzant wants to take over all of Norzelia. We must stop that. You take over all of Norzelia. Wait a minute. Something's not quite adding up.
Of course not. The blood in your veins and the royal family's ring are claim enough to the throne. There is no need for violence.
I told you not to speak of that again.
But you did not tell me to forget. The time to reckon with your lineage draws near. You must make a...
I've heard enough. Leave me.
Just know that I will do anything you ask of me, Lord Serenoa. I pray that you make the right choice, not only for House Wolfort, but for yourself.
I do think Benedict is making a lot of good points in this specific conversation, and is basically speaking straight facts. Obviously, I don't think we need to conquer like all Norzelia, but like the things that he is saying are very true. All right, let's go ahead and make this decision. The story is approaching a turning point. It is recommended that you save your current progress. Okay. I mean, I don't think it matters if I save because, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, go back and make a different choice from here. But if there's, like, a chance that I somehow, like, get a game over or something, then, I mean, it's good to save from this spot. So let's hopefully not make a game over type choice.
You are certain Hyzan's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
I wonder if this is the last big decision that really sort of locks in, like, what sort of ending you get, or, like, what path you take to get to the ending. Because I know this game has multiple endings. So I wonder if this is, like, the one that, like, really sets that into motion.
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Esfrost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war.
Roland.
I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzant.
Oh, I cannot wait for Frederica to just rip them apart.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzant's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Rosal not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
You tell
She
him.
speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzant's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes. In exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
Nope. You're just completely wrong in
The
this.
sacrifice of the Rosal. Is that a small price to you?
It is.
Dang, cold-blooded.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Esfrost and strike back at Hyzant. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ally with Esfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
Oh my gosh, you won't ally with the nation that murdered your father. Maybe you can kind of see where Frederica's coming from, where maybe she doesn't want to give control to the people that oppress her people for literally generations and will continue to do so till the end of time. Wow, that's crazy. You are being so hypocritical right now, Roland. It only matters when it pertains to you.
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people.
This is crazy. I feel like Roland had like the very stereotypical setup of like someone who is going to overcome a lot of like things to just become like this great person, and he was such an interesting character. And not to say this isn't interesting. This is interesting, and I still feel like this sort of makes sense, given like his sort of journey so far. But it's crazy that we've come to a place where he is just blatantly making such a terrible choice. Oh man, I don't know. I'd have to like really look back to see if this is in line with his character. It doesn't feel like so out of line, but like it is crazy what Roland has become. Oh my gosh.
So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt.
Yep.
And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest problem with what Roland is saying, and this is kind of indicative of a lot of things that happen just in the real world, where it's just like, oh, this is happening to that group of people, and I'm not a part of that, so it doesn't really affect me, so whatever. Or it's just like, well, there's not much I can do about it. So, you know, there's a lot of just like inaction, or it doesn't affect me, so who cares? And that is not very cool.
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No, I've heard that before. Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more.
I don't exactly know if Benedict is really... I don't know. I mean, I guess he chose poor wording there, but I feel like if we ally with Esfrost and take out Hyzant or whatever, that results in a net good for her people, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Benedict really wasn't thinking about the Roselle at all, but I do feel that could be a very direct result in a positive way.
All else is in disarray. If Hyzant seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk.
Okay, alright, so I guess I was mistaken. I guess liberating the Roselle and allying with Esfrost against Hyzant are 2 different options. Okay, which I thought they would go hand in hand, because if we fight Hyzant, then we can also try and, fight Hyzant for the sake of the Roselle. I thought we could kind of combine both of them into one, but clearly those are 2 different options. That I don't clearly see the details of how, but sure, I'll trust it.
We fend off the fury Hyzant will rain down upon us.
Esfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
Combine both of your ideas.
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolfort domain.
Silence!
Everybody's getting a little, yeah, tensions are getting a little high here.
You all hold the courage of your own convictions.
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Alright, so there's the 3 options.
But know that a choice must be made. There can only be one way forward. Face the scales of conviction and prepare to make peace with the outcome.
Okay. So, I'm going into this fully prepared that I might not get my way, because that's just how the scales of conviction work. The vote we take today may well open a rift between us. Nevertheless, it must proceed. I'm prepared to accept this outcome. So, I'm going into this fully mentally prepared that I might not get my way. Stand with Roland is the option that I want the least, so I really hope it doesn't happen. If I had my choice, I think I would go with Frederica. I think that makes the most sense for Sarah Noah to do, although I just wish there was a way to combine Benedict and Frederica's ideas. But I think Frederica would be my first choice, Benedict's option would be my second choice, and Roland is the one that I do not want to happen at all. I just don't think that is a good thing, and I think it will lead to a not very good ending. So, I'm going into this, those are my thoughts on it, but I'm fully prepared to accept that sometimes I don't really get my way, because changing people's minds is very much based on a lot of hidden values, I think, as well as saying the right things to them by unlocking certain things. So I will try, but, you know, we will, I'm prepared to accept whatever the consequences of this decision are. I cannot help but feel the greatest battle lies ahead, regardless of which path you choose. I know this may not be the best time to say so, but my wife gave birth to our first child not a few days ago. Oh. You were father before soldier, not force you to march with us, act according to your own convictions. Sure, yeah. But I have time to think about it, my lord. Yeah, but of course, the path before me diverges as well, and I must also take time for to think before making a decision. Let's both choose the path that will leave us with no regrets. Thank you, Lord, sir. No, that's not calling my lord. Alright, cool. I think we did alright there. To think King Roland, Lady Frederica, and Sir Benedict's convictions would ever so greatly after all this time. Just between you and me, Lord Cyrano, what do you make of their plans? Benedict plans to use Esfrost's ideals, freedom to ascend to the top of Arnoselia. Roland intends to put his personal feelings aside to bring peace. I mean, literally all of these are true. But I mean, I'm choosing to stand with Frederica, so I will start, you know, putting that as like the thing that I answer for everybody. But in reality, humans usually only act in their own best interest, even if it means turning a blind eye to the suffering of others. Lady Frederica is a strong woman to stand up for what is right. I couldn't agree more. Hey, knowing the plight now would be shameful, especially knowing what we do of their innocence. Everyone says they're deeply rooted in their own convictions. It makes me wonder if they'll be able to abide by the Scales' decision. Lord Sir Noah, if you, it will fall to you to lead everyone down the right path. Of course, I wish for us all to walk beside the same path as we always have. Yeah, I don't know. Even if the Scales say one thing, are we all gonna submit to that? I don't know. Like, if the Scales go on, like, Roland's side, like, is Benedict gonna be okay with being like, yeah, alright, the Scales said so, so I accept that. I have a hard time believing that. I'm guessing I can't go outside. Alright, well, hey, don't say I didn't try. I tried to go outside just to see. So, let's go ahead and start talking to people and see if we can change people's minds. If we don't, I'm prepared to accept whatever. I'm not going to get mad about it this time, but I would like... also, I just want to say, it's just like, for me personally, I love just stories of... and even, like, if it happens in real life, any sort of oppressed people, it's so easy to just want them to be, like, do better or, like, have a better situation, things like that. I'm one that, I don't know, I just hate seeing groups of people, like, oppressed for stupid reasons or no reason. And when you can see them overcome their oppressors, that is one of the easiest ways for me to absolutely fall in love with that story or the characters involved in that sort of story. Or what happens in real life, same sort of thing. I can always get behind a cause like that. That is why I really want the Frederica one, but I do think that the Benedict side would also make for a very interesting overall story and end to the game. So we'll see what happens between those two. And I just really hope that we don't stand with Roland. It doesn't sound like anybody would be stand on the side, but maybe Hewitt would. But let's find out. Here we stand after a bitter fight to reclaim the Crown City, only for the king to speak forsaking it. His subject is my duty to follow his decree, and yet, or the choice before us feels immense. I am utterly adrift. Right, tell me how you see the proposal from King Roland and the others. I need your guidance. Listen to reason, may take effort. We'll listen. Okay, so it also seems, based on this, it seems like this is the most likely option, and then Benedict number 2, and then Roland number 3. So if Hewitt is not even standing by Roland, then there's a chance that maybe what we have to say should actually sway people, but we'll see. Taking Frederica's side in all this, what fascination do the Roselle hold for you, my lord? Frederica showed me the future which no one is beholden to salt or indeed to any nation. There's no better time for the Roselle than now, while Frost and Hyzant squabble over the salt crystals. I mean, for this one, I don't know if this is going to, like, persuade Hewitt, though. So if the choice is to ally with the Duchy, who prize might over all else, or submit to the Holy State, who prey upon the weak.
But...
I mean, to suggest we simply do neither? Absolutely. Precisely, she has shown me the Roselle legends are true. That means there is hope for all of us. A hope I would bet my life upon. So long as we sit between two nations who have no compassion for the weak, I fear we will never know peace.
Furthermore,
Take your point. War will spread and perhaps only end when the Deathnell and Elfric are unleashed upon the continent. So you see why I would choose to flee with the weak rather than be party to the atrocities of the powerful. It'll be a flight amid a hail of arrows and steel. But so Rick's so noble that I would Be proud to give my life for it. You stated your case very well, my lord. Alright, and so she's deep in thought, so we'll see what she has to say. Your path before us demands a great sacrifice in exchange for a great reward. I'm sure King Roland, Benedict, and Frederica have agonized over their proposals, but now we must agonize over our decisions. So, listen to reason, stone wall, may take effort. So it seems like it's sort of the same thing. It seems like 1, 2, 3 in the order that I was saying. Which I am a little, I'm not surprised by, but I am a little surprised. I feel like the side that Benedict has been taking has been the one that has been winning and has been sort of the path that the game has guided me down. That might just be recency bias because I think that happened last time, but I thought that happened the time before as well. So it just seems like maybe Benedict was like the sort of like neutral path that the game was guiding me down. So I'm interested if the Frederica path really is the way that the game is trying to guide me down, and I just happen to align with it, or what. But alright, I must say I'm surprised by your support for Frederica's vision. I've been by her side for years, but even I must admit it's rather hopeful, if I'm being charitable. Perhaps you see something I do not? Nozelia will forever be plagued by war, which will leave this place to create a new nation that knows only peace. Others defended the Roselle for all years, and I intend to carry on its legacy. I mean, I don't know how well she has this thought out, but I guess the best answer would probably be this top one. I don't know. I mean to forsake not only your domain, but all Nozelia?
I don't know.
I can see the Hyzant would not admit defeat should we manage to free the Roselle. I truly believe that searching for Centralia and starting anew will prove any easier. I do, though I acknowledge that it is far easier said than done. To say so, it sounds like a daydream if I speak so plainly.
I don't know.
If the world is vast and full of wonders, I cannot in good faith argue that Centralia does not exist. Perhaps forging ahead is the only answer. May it lead us to the future you dream of, if that is what you desire. Nothing else is Frederica's attendant. I must say that it warms my heart to see you support her so diligently. I truly love her. Alright, now she's deep in thought. I don't even know if Frederica will say anything. Only we can free the Roselle and expose the lie that's kept them in bondage these many years. However, we must move quickly while their gaze is fixed upon the salt crystals. I believe we can succeed. I hear your plea, yet I cannot help but wonder if you wish to act with too much haste.
But
I know not what I can do to prove to you that I've thought this through. I swear to you, this is no fit of pique. Then if stratagem may also provide the chance to strike a Hyzant, would that not be enough? It also prolongs this war and thus the immense suffering of my people. Even if we do prevail, you know as well as I that my brother is not a merciful man. Will not spare so much as a thought for the weak. Okay, so that's her problem with sort of Benedict's plan, or her sort of hold up with it, is that the Roselle there might end up just being unfortunate casualties of like the war, or Gustave will try and like take control of them or something. Who knows? But to destroy the Roselle's plight would then be buried once more amid negotiations between the nations. You see, the time is now, and only we have the power to serve them. Power we forfeit if we assent to Roland's plan.
I have decided.
This is the one vision for our future that I cannot abide. Yeah, I'm the same way. Perhaps my concerns seem narrow when all Nozelia is at stake, but I know you can save my brothers and sisters. I beg you consider it. Alright, Frederica is resolved steadfast. Your words have no power here. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to, but I still wanted to hear what she said. I'll do the same for the others as well. You must give Hyzant the soft crystals, Cal Frost, and unite all Nozelia in the name of the goddess, else we will never know peace. The Roselle will continue to suffer, 'tis true, but this will end war as we know it, and countless more will live in peace as equals.
I have made my decision.
I'll see this done, not just for the people of Glenbrook, but for all Nozelia. But when you are the king, surely cooperation with Hyzant need not mean the forfeit of the kingdom.
I think not.
That's where you are wrong, my friend. My time on the throne has shown me that people need a force more powerful than any king to show them the way. There are many paths that lead us out of war, Roland, cooperating with Esfrost, for instance. End the war by allying with the very Archduke who set this in motion? No, cooperating with that tyrant ends nothing. That also, I mean, that is an interesting point. I mean, Gustave was basically the one that started this war, so thinking that you can rely on him to end it is maybe a little bit foolish. It's not a bad point. His avarice has brought only pain and suffering to this land.
Moreover,
If anyone understood the torturous path I've taken to arrive at this decision, I thought it'd be you, Serenoa. Yeah, and then Roland's resolve. I wonder, there must be a way to actually stand with Roland as, like, one of the options. It seems like it would be very difficult to do, but, I mean, if you do really have the choice, I'm interested if you can actually get an outcome with that. And then we'll hear Benedict out. We share a common goal with Esfrost at the moment. It is incumbent upon us to seize the opportunity and rid Nozelia of Hyzant for good. Indeed, the Salt Crystals make an alliance with Esfrost possible, but Roland would never assent to it. He feels the weight of the crown, underestimates his own ability, and has allowed his hatred for Gustave to cloud his judgment. I sympathize, but those matters should have no bearing on the welfare of our house. Perhaps you're right, but then what of Frederica's vision? Do you concede that her plan concerns our house?
Quite impossible.
I concede nothing, for her strategy is out of the question. She asks us to forfeit all we have fought to build in this domain. How can I reasonably entertain such a proposition? And you'll brook no argument otherwise? None.
We must.
May I remind you that you are the Lord of House Wolfort. Your duty is to your people above all else.
I believe
This moment requires a
decision.
passionate mind. I pray you have one. Yep, alright, cool. And then we will talk to Eredor and Anna, and that's it.
Aye, lad.
A sweat and blood has fed this land. Built it into a proper domain. I see no reason why we should surrender it all to Hyzant. Lady Frederica, while I sympathize, ask that we risk everything for the sake of the Roselle.
Here's what I think.
Benedict's got the right of it, I reckon, but even that doesn't quite quiet the nagging feeling I get every time I think about our options. I think no matter what I say, it seems like he will probably vote with Benedict, but I will do my due diligence of trying to convince him to Frederica's side. How can we possibly support Lady Frederica's vision? Have you gone mad? It will never end as long as we hold all the salt crystals. I wish to carry on and surpass my father's legacy of protecting the Roselle. War will never end. I'm trying to think of which one would actually help convince Eredor. I don't really know, but maybe mentioning my father would do something, because I feel like Eredor was a big, like, Simone guy, right? Not to your own father. You know what exactly? Do more for the Roselle than he did? I know things aren't what they were during the Star Iron War, but is it not House Wolfort's duty to come to the aid of those in need? Are we not to fight injustice and tyranny wherever so it may be? Or, yeah, wheresoever it may be? Darenbook leads Lord Simone's own words. I cannot do this alone, Eredor. The risk is too great. Only if all of House Wolfort unites as one will we have a chance to succeed. I hear you, lad.
And so,
Just give me a moment to sit with what you've said. Alright, he's deep in thought, and then we'll talk to Anna. It sounds like no matter what, we probably won't go with the Roland plan. So, that sounds good to me. If the game decides that my secret stats and my choices weren't enough to persuade people to Frederica's view, and we end up with Benedict's one, I will not be that upset about it.
Lord Serenoa.
Benedict and King Roland would march us to war. Frederica would see Hyzant hunt us for all eternity. Perhaps her vision is not so different. Let's come to this. Ally with a one-time opponent, or flee with the Roselle.
However,
Bold proposals, all. Our tactics must be flawless. Alright, so, ooh, Frederica may take effort. I think Anna might actually vote with Roland over Frederica. Oh, and that, alright, wow. She seems to prefer going with Roland. Okay, interesting. Interesting perspective, but I mean, I'll try. So you sent Frederica's vision for the future. War is coming, a war for all Noselia, and you would forfeit your role in it? No better time to free the Roselle than now, while Esfraz and Hyzant squabble over the crystals. This is how we end the war. Hyzant will crumble. Are unleashed on the battlefield, the casualties will eclipse any war that's come before. The fact that she's leaning towards an option of peace, I don't know if she's considering that. I don't know if I can read Anna well enough. I feel like this top one might be a good option. It's probably what I want to say. I just don't know if this is the right one to convince Anna, but I don't know. I'll pick it.
even so,
Squabble over Novelia's future. They who control the salt control the continent. And here you stand, saying you throw away that same power just to free the Roselle. In short, yes, no matter which nation claims the salt crystals, their people have a future. But the Roselle have no future, save the one House Wolfort can give them.
then,
So you sent not simply to appease Frederica? Nay. I know now the Roselle to be innocents, and I shall go to their aid because it's the righteous thing to do. She and I share a common morality, one that led us to this judgment. And I have no further questions. It remains a dangerous and ill-conceived plot in my eyes. Nevertheless, I'm proud to serve a lord so sincerely devoted to his cause. Alright, yeah, Anna is probably not going to change. Alright, so Anna might vote with Roland, and I just hope that... I don't think anybody else will, so I think we're fine. So no matter where the votes go, we are probably not doing the Roland plan. But I guess there's only one way to find out. Oh, let's see if we get our way, or if we get the backup way, or if we get the worst possible outcome. We shall see. But I promise not to go into angry rant no matter what happens.
The opinions before us are many. Roland's, Frederica's, Benedict's. Which to choose? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I feel like I really don't know what's going to happen. I feel like I should know, but I don't know. Wow, I wonder who Roland's going to go vote for. Oh wow, I wonder who Benedict's going to vote for. Oh hey, Frederica, I wonder who she might vote for. Alright, let's see if we can gather what's happening.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Made up my mind, I stand with you, Lord Sir. No, okay. So, that might be a Frederica vote. We also might have more power in this because there wasn't any, like, locked dialogue options. So, I decided to stand my ground. Okay, so that's probably a Roland vote. So, it should be 2-2-1.
I have faith in you.
I decided that this is what's best for both King Roland and us all. Ugh, that might be another King Roland vote. Uh-oh.
I'm with you.
My mind's all made up. You've got my vote. Okay. Eridor says I have his vote. Surprised he didn't vote with, Benedict? Is this a 3-3-2?
Scales of conviction
How does that work?
illuminate the path we've chosen.
I feel like one of them is going to be a different vote. Frederico's. Okay. Oh! Anna voted with Benedict. Okay. I guess I misread that. But everybody else voted for me. Okay. So when I think Huette said something about Prince Roland, she actually voted with us. I was going to say, this decision, because it's so important, we might actually have more power over. It still seems like we would have had to really fight an uphill battle to stand with Roland. But maybe it would have been possible. I don't exactly know. But hey,
The way forward is
we got our way. Let's go.
Frederica's dream is worth realizing. We will free the Roselle from the source.
That's exciting. I like that the thing that I want to do is actually the thing that's happening. All right, all right. Yeah, okay. I was like, this is a perfect time to wrap it up. So, yeah, we have made our decision, and we are sticking with it. I think on the next time, I will probably check in and see if there's, like, a mock battle or anything before we start, like, a big time fight. So we'll probably do some of that, and that will be the next time. And then after that, it will be time to go towards what I believe would be sort of the end game. I feel like we're in the last couple chapters, and I'm excited to see how it ends up, and if we are successful in our quest to free the Roselle and find Centralia. So that's exciting. Hopefully y'all are excited for that. If so, let me know, and I will see you all the next time. So till then, peace out.